Make that big boss less special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the official Love 2 podcast, episode 23. My name is Keegan. I'm one half Love 2 Gamers. Hanging out with Tom, the other half Love 2 Gamers. How you doing today? It's been a weird day so far.
Yeah, it's been a weird day.
And we're hanging out with Jess, Tom's wife, who you might know from previous podcast and or Skills Not Required and or is that all you've been on at this point? That's it, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Yeah.
No. So
she was with us at Wizard World.
That too.
Yeah.
Yes. She was the camera lady at Wizard World and the photo taker. Yeah. But so we were going to tell a story.
You were going to tell.
I was going to tell a story.
We were going to listen.
What story was I going to tell?
Cringy faces. Yeah.
So my mom. So we were talking about like you're asking like dating
no good
people
story
and,
starts with
yeah.
my mom.
So
okay.
You're. I showed you prom pictures and I had a fun prom night. I'm going to leave names out just to protect the innocent. But my mom one time she picked me up from soccer practice and Garrett, my best friend, was with me and somebody else. I can't remember who else was with me, but somebody else on the team. And we were talking, and my mom called me a man whore and a man slut in 2 consecutive sentences. And Garrett looks over at me and he goes, "What?" I was like, No. Mom was like, "Yeah, you've been with this many girls and this many times." I was like, "Shut up." So I used to be when I say I used to be a not so nice person to a lot of people, I wasn't lying.
Yeah. Keegan's like
I had to change.
Yeah, you're like the guy that grew a heart. You're not the Grinch,
this is why I'm religious. It's a fun fact. So, like, true story. I'm gonna get real deep here for a second, and then we're gonna go to that fun time.
you better not.
No. Well, no. It's gonna be essentially. So what happened was in high school, I had, as I mentioned before, I tried to commit suicide. That's when I turned to religion, and that's kind of when all this
keeping it light, folks.
Well, that's when I became a better person. So that's when. Even if religion wasn't the aspect, that was the thing I went to. But it was interesting having all that come about. And now, as I can firmly say, I'm a way different person. I'm 9 times out of 10 way happier. I do have moments, as you know, you deal with me on a daily basis. I'm all over the place. But yeah, so I have to say I'm a much better person than I was in high school.
And we are all grateful for it.
Yes, I'm not a total prick to everybody. I used to beat the snot out of people for no reason and all that kind of stuff.
So. A bully?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. That's so. Cody from Dream Saga.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Cody from the Dream Saga posted something the other day of like, I don't think I could ever look my bullies in the face, and I was like, I used to be one, and it sucks.
Does it?
Let's just say that.
Okay, so let's go there.
Let's go with this.
Let's go there. So when you know you were a bully,
and I didn't know. I just kind of did whatever the crowd told me to do.
Okay.
I mean, it's high
you
school.
You are aware now.
Yes.
That you were.
Yes.
At what point does that start to feel bad? Like, when did you start going, shit, I really was kind of like not a good person?
When the moment I think I had the biggest one was, I'll again leave the guy's name out of it just to keep it safe. I had a bad night on basketball the night before. I was like 0 for 8 or something bad. And 8 a.m. the next morning, my Spanish class, the dude on my team said something to me, and you know those desks that are connected to the chair, like they have the metal bar up to the desk. I grabbed the corner of the desk, flipped it, and chucked it down.
Like that meme thing of like the chair flipping. Or
no, it was pick up, throw down. It wasn't flip. It was a chuck. Okay. Like I threw him down.
Not at him, at the floor.
No, he was hooked in the desk.
Oh,
he was in the desk. I picked him and the desk.
You left that part out.
Yeah,
he was in the desk. Yeah. You lifted it.
I picked him and the desk, and I flipped it.
Were you fucking Incredible Hulk? How'd you manage to lift a desk with a person in it?
When you're angry, you can do. I used to be a really angry person.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, that's another thing I've worked on very hard.
It's interesting because I poke the bear a lot when it comes to you. So I'm grateful that you haven't lifted me up and thrown me down.
So if I go real quiet, that's how you know I'm like.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I'm familiar now. It took me a while to get used to it.
But so that was the moment I got sent to the principal's office. Ironically, the assistant principal who was down there was my basketball coach, and he goes, "What'd you do, Vi?" I was like, "I flipped this guy in the chair and kind of messed him up a little bit." And he goes, "Well, he deserved it because nobody on the team liked him." But he goes, "You're suspended the next 3 days." And the moment I couldn't play sports, like suspended from the game, couldn't play games. The moment I couldn't play sports was kind of when I was like, "Oh." And that because that was my big thing. My mom, I mean, we read my contract back in the day. You remember that?
Essentially, you were grounded by your principal from playing
He was my coach.
sports. Your
But yes.
coach. And
And when you take that away from me,
was your
that
moment.
yeah. When
So
you
it was
take-
like someone taking a console away from you, like when you were a kid,
That
and said you
didn't
can't play
matter.
with that. Just sports.
my parents would do that, and it didn't matter. Yeah, the hanging out with friends and sports were the like two things I did in high school.
I always think about kids these days and how like it's so easy to punish them because all you have to do is like change the Wi-Fi password or something. And
You don't give them enough credit for being smart. Then
dude,
I'm just gonna say that now.
I'm smarter, I think. But,
I'm smarter, I think. What were you like in back in the day?
Yeah, what were you like in
Were you
school?
a good person? I feel like you were a
I
good
think
person.
I was a good person. I was
think I
kind
was.
of quiet.
Were you a floater? Were you a popular kid? Were you
a floater?
Like, so floater was those people that like didn't really have a group. They kind of went from group to group. I had some friends like that. That I'm like, because I definitely was a floater mixed with the popular kids.
I
'cause
wouldn't
played
say I was
sports.
popular. So I come from a very small school.
So
We had
big
like
fish, small pond.
we only had like 80 kids or something in our
Jesus.
graduating class. So everybody literally knew everybody. So you were always known, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was part of like the
The
popular
clique. You
crowd.
weren't the clique. You weren't out drinking every weekend. And
No, I didn't drink in high school.
wow, I did.
I didn't drink in high school.
My parents, when it came to drinking, their rules were always, we don't care if you drink, don't drive. Mm-hmm. Great advice. Don't ever drink
Not a
and
problem
drive.
for me.
That is
Never
that is
drink and
dumb.
drive.
Yeah, you don't have a license, so you're good there.
Don't skateboard and drink.
And the other thing was they were definitely, and this is why I don't think drinking is as big of a deal to me as it was to some of my friends when they hit college, was if you're in a situation and you don't feel comfortable, you can call us. There will be consequences, but we will not get mad at you for calling us.
Right.
And I was like, that's awesome. And I
That's
think
how
most
that's
parents
how
should
my
do
mom was too. My mom was
that. Like,
very
we're not
much
going to be happy, but we don't want you dead.
But I was, I had a lot of anxiety. Like I was always like the worried kid. I can even remember when we were probably like in junior high. Did you ever play like that King of the Hill game where you jump up on something high and then you try to wrestle each other off?
Yeah.
We would play that, and I was always the one that just stood going, be careful, you're gonna get hurt.
Dude, you would never last in gym class. I would, like, when we played hockey, I would check people on the wall, and my gym teacher's like, you can't do that.
Yeah, I was
always.
I was the worried kid, so I was always kind of the mom of the group. So even if I did go out with like
Mm-hmm.
the people that did the stupid stuff, I didn't partake. I just kind of monitored
You were
the
keeping
events.
so you're the ones who kept care of me.
Yes.
13 going on 30.
The best
yeah, exactly.
best thing I've ever seen at a party, by the way, was a dude try to dive head first into a fish tank. It didn't end well for him
Can't imagine it
because
would.
it was only about this deep, and
It'd break his neck.
he broke the tank.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so he literally like dove.
My
What about you? What were you like? You
I
have
was fine.
You have an interesting life. I've come to learn from this podcast and
yeah.
just knowing you now.
I mean, I don't know. I'm an only child, as you know, so I didn't have to deal with the siblings thing like you two did. So my
Siblings are
friends
fun, though.
were a bigger deal to me. That's why I'm kind of fiercely loyal, is because they really were my like kinfolk growing up. And in England, it's a little different vibe-wise because over here, I feel like there's so much pressure put on you to succeed, and also to not be labeled as this, that, or the other in high school and things like that. Because when you get a label over here, it's like stays with you forever. But in England,
I was an
it's
emo kid.
not a big deal. So like my first time I got hammered before I went to a disco was
Wait, whoa.
yeah, disco.
Okay.
It was called the school disco. Thank you. Not discotheque, just disco. And
Didn't the disco die in
was,
the 70s or 80s or something?
it wasn't like disco music. It was just what they called it. It was
Okay,
a disco.
I was
It could have been
I was
a
picturing you
dance.
like Saturday Night Fever.
They just called it school disco. Like I don't know why.
so
but,
like a school dance.
I was 11, and someone went and got us a bottle of vodka. And so what we would do is we would get an older kid to buy us some vodka, and then we would go and drink the vodka before
You
we went in.
you started off legit. You didn't go beer. You went straight
I went
liquor.
straight to vodka.
What's
And,
so
yeah,
drinking over there? Side question. What is, because I don't know what like the laws are.
legal age is 18.
Okay. But why is it like, hey, the perception is you can drink at whatever age you want when you're
Well,
over
because
in Europe.
there's two reasons. One is because it's a massive binge drinking culture. So like everyone in England lives for the weekend.
It's more socially acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. Like
essentially.
when you drink yourself into half a coma. Like there's actual like entire TV shows at home called like Binge England and Binge Drinking Spain or whatever. And it's all like about people that just get so fucked from drinking that they're like it was a regular event to get your stomach pumped from alcoholic poisoning.
That's not right.
Not me, but like you would always like
Not
every
me.
week somebody got
yeah.
their stomach pumped from alcohol poisoning.
I never.
And it's huge in the culture over there. And so you drink from a young age. Like even when I was like fucking 7 and shit, my mom would make me a curry and they'd give me a cider with the curry. And it was just because it was like I don't know, it was just kind of like a social thing.
We had an exchange student from France come live with us.
French drink wine.
Yeah, so he stayed in my sister's room when he stayed with us. Kelsey then stayed in what then became my brother's room once he was born, but the extra bedroom at the time. And when he left and Kelsey went back to her bedroom, like would find bottles of wine and beer, and she's like, I swear, because Kelsey at this point was maybe 10, 11. We're in Canada, so I was no more than 6th grade, so probably I was in elementary school, I'm guessing.
So was he French or French Canadian?
He was French, like full French. The only reason he was the reason he stayed with us was my dad through work knew his dad.
Okay.
And he wanted to come over here. And then we also had another one. We had an exchange student from Denmark, which that was kind of cool. Her name was San. And my mom still talks to her. She doesn't talk to Benjamin anymore, but she talks to San still to this day. And she actually had a kid, I think, recently, like 2 years ago. I mean, I say recently, but
cool.
It's really interesting seeing her, I guess, grown up. Because when she was with us, she was 17, 18 years old and hanging out. And I remember we used to play video games together down in our basement. She played N64 or not. No. Yeah, it had to be N64 at that time. Maybe Xbox. I don't remember.
Okay.
So now it had to be N64. I'm trying to think what year it was. I don't know.
Semantics.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was really cool having like the opportunity to have these people come in from different cultures and understanding them.
We did some of that too. I didn't personally do it, but my neighbors and also my best friend from back home, his name is Hugh, he had Japanese students come over quite a lot. And the culture differences were so amazing because they would like, they got a lot of money. Because obviously you have to be relatively rich to do an exchange program. And what they would do was they wouldn't really spend it on themselves. They would spend it all on gifts. So they would they bought his dad, I remember, like this gigantic like ship in a bottle thing. And it was like, this $500-$600 thing just to say thank you for like letting him stay. And I'm just like, Jesus.
Yep.
But they were cool. I liked them a lot. I can't remember their names for the life of me. And I remember his cousin as well came over. His cousin was called Brett, which he's American. And I just thought that is the fucking most American name I've ever heard in my life. He was cool though. I liked him. But binge drinking, huge part of the culture. So I started when I was 11, and by the time I was 17, I was done, honestly, because I had just been fucked for the entirety of my life to that point.
And I'm more the opposite. I did a little bit before college because I went to parties, but the first time I got sick from alcohol was in college. It was Halloween. Haley, Julian, if you were watching, you guys are the common denominator in every time I've gotten sick while drinking. That's why I don't hang out. Julian now lives in St. Louis, but Haley doesn't. So that was that. I never really binge drinked in college, but I did have nights where I'm just like, fuck it. We're going to have some fun.
Well, they don't do it the same way here that they do it back home as far as like I can't think of anywhere here where you can pay like $8 and just drink whatever you want for the rest of the night.
No, you have to buy drinks.
Right, but in England,
plus a cover charge.
There's a lot of places that do that. So it was £8.
That would be dangerous.
Pay to go. I know. Tell me about it. It was £8. You pay to go into the club. Drinks free all night.
That's crazy because here they have cover charge and then you buy drinks.
So we would usually at least one of us would end up in the back of an ambulance or a police car.
That's when you jungle juice it. Do you know what jungle juice is?
No.
Do you know what jungle juice is? It's basically you have people bring different types of alcohol and you have a giant bowl.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Pour it in.
No, what we would do is we'd go to the bar, find a good spot because as the place filled up, it'd be really hard to get to the bar, and then we would start with vodka and Red Bull because it would keep you awake and also get you very drunk very fast. So we'd drink like 7 of those. And then we would start on like just regular, like I would drink the fruity stuff. Everyone else would get beers. I always drank like
Smirnoff.
Like Smirnoff Ice and stuff. Yeah, that was the stuff
I did. I would do once I found Grey Goose, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, whiskey was always kind of. So here's an interesting story. I didn't think you know this one. So when we were in school, like
which school?
In high school, it was like 15, 16.
Okay.
We had decided that we wanted to have a better way of hiding alcohol before an event, because it sucked to have to like that night try and find someone that would buy it for you, and then like if you buy a fifth of whiskey, no way you're finishing that, right? So we would drink it, and then we'd be like, all right, well, now what do I do with it? I can't take it home. So what we would do is we came up with, this is so stupid, we came up with these hiding spots that we called, and we wanted to give them a cool name, and I had just finished playing the game Syndicate on PC, so I was like, oh, let's call them syndicates. So it was like Syndicate 1, Syndicate 2, Syndicate 3, Syndicate 4.
You realize you married this giant nerd.
And yeah, but we, to be fair, it was a hiding place for booze at the age of 15, so it's less nerdy. But
I was just beating up kids
sad.
at that point.
It's sad.
yeah, you were beating people up. I was drinking, so there was
Beating myself up.
so we had these spots, and like they were like really like well done, you know. Like, but the thing that we didn't foresee at the time was that most of the time when we went to go and get those drinks, it would be pitch fucking black, and this is pre-mobile phones, so we didn't have, any lights or nothing. So we had no way. So we were like digging around in the dirt in the dark trying to find this bottle of whiskey that we buried like a week before. We're not that smart, so
It's because he was.
we're burying whiskey in a garden. We're not that smart, so we would like hide it in like a crisp packet too, like, you know, like a chip packet. Sorry, we'd put like a fifth of that, and then it'd be like, oh, it just looks like litter. So then we'd like put it under a hedge or something. And yeah, that was.
Did you ever hide booze anywhere?
No, why did you need to hide them?
Because we know where to put them, and we wanted to have them next time. So the idea was, like, if you knew that you had another thing to go to, like, in 2 weeks, save you having to go and find another dumb motherfucker to buy you alcohol, you would just already have it, and then you would just hit up the syndicate, and you get your beer, and then you go.
No, I never hid alcohol.
No.
I didn't drink in high school. So I didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
But I did go to parties and stuff where there was alcohol.
Ooh,
yeah.
badass.
I know, total. But no, I never had to worry about that.
Did you ever sneak out or anything? Did you ever do anything like that? Like,
were you ever bad?
Yeah, were you ever bad? Did you ever have? I've done a few things.
No.
Really? Come on. There's gotta be something.
No.
Where you're like.
No, like I have one time we cranked out the window because we didn't have like windows open. They cranked, but that wasn't like a big thing. I just went over to my friend's house, and her parents were actually over at my house, and our parents were having like a dinner thing. So I just went over to her house. That wasn't like a big thing, but I felt like, oh, I'm sneaking out, even though I wasn't.
Yeah.
But no, I
never snuck
I was
out.
a good kid. I told you I had a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
I was the worried kid.
Get caught.
I was always afraid I'd get caught.
Yeah.
But I will say my senior year I did loosen up a bit, and actually my senior year I was voted class clown. I don't know why people thought I was funny.
I'm trying to think what I got. I got voted as superlative. I can't remember what it was at this point.
I was voted
I think it was
most likely to
succeed.
have an American accent. I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking. We had these stupid awards, and because I occasionally would say American words because I was enamored with American culture at the time.
Then you moved here, and you
so it all stemmed from me saying the word fucking trash can one time. I was talking about
fucking trash can. Or just the word trash can?
Trash compactor. Actually,
Okay.
it was trash compactor. I was talking about that scene
Versus
in
bin.
Star Wars, right? In the scene in Star Wars where they're in the trash compactor. They call it a fucking trash compactor. So when I'm trying to describe the scene to someone, I say, yeah, when they're in the trash compactor, like, oh, you mean the rubbish tip or whatever?
Yeah.
And then they got like,
wait, a rubbish tip?
yeah. And then
I know rubbish. I don't.
that's the English
Okay.
way of saying it. And then you know,
Heard bin
they
before.
pissed all over me for that. And then like I guess because I was the guy that would show up looking like because fashion wise clearly I don't give a fuck. So I was the guy that showed up looking like
Neither
Will
of us
Smith,
do.
right? I'd look like Will Smith in Fresh Prince. Like I'd have my hat to the side. I'd have like some bright colored shirt. I didn't give a fuck. So because of these multiple things, sorry microphone. Because of these multiple things, when they gave away these silly awards, they were like, "Oh, voted most likely to have an American accent," and lo and behold,
Look at that.
here I fucking am, American accent. Fuck you guys.
Well, you said pissing on you, so you're definitely not American. Because
I can turn it on when I need to, but yeah, for the most part, I just go with it.
Yeah. God. I think the best drinking story I had. Well, there's two, other than Halloween.
None of mine end well.
But there was one. So when I would hang out with my buddy Josh in college, me, Haley, Josh, and Melissa, I think is her name. I probably should remember her name. And Monica, I don't know. People were there. There's like 6 of us that hung out. Logan was there. Cooper might have been there. I don't know. But anyways, we'd hang out in Josh's room. He's an RA, so he had like the fancy room, like the suite essentially. So he'd always have like Kool-Aid in his kitchen that was spiked with something, usually SoCo and Kool-Aid. Which, by the way, blue Kool-Aid and SoCo is delicious. Like you can drink the shit out of that and not.
I can't picture whiskey going well with Kool-Aid.
Dude, try it. Like we would just. So do you know what
vodka would go well with Kool-Aid.
Do you know what Waterfall is, or Ring of Fire, like the card game?
Oh.
So you each card,
yeah.
like you have a list essentially. So each card is something. So like, Queens was girls drink, Kings was guys drink, so on and so forth. So each card, and then if you got a ace, you could. Everybody had a drink, and then there's one where you could make a rule. So there was at one point there was a rule that if so and so drinks, so and so. So eventually we were all just drinking, just because. But we would go over there and play that. And there was one time Josh had the biggest crush on Monica, and I had to take the dive for him to get the other girl. I had to play wingman, and I didn't want to play wingman with this other person, but I had to. And so I did it. I took the dive, played wingman. He ended up going out with her for a little while, and then it broke off. And then me and Monica ended up dating for like 3.5 months, and after that, and then college happened. But it was funny because like he was so mad at me.
Why?
Because I ended up with her. I was like, I took the dive for you. Like, come on, man. But like we
I could see that though. Like anyone that I've ever broken up with, I've always, like afterwards been a little bit like, okay, this is weird. Especially if one of my friends dated her, I'd have been pretty fucking mad at you.
I can tell you the story of the first time I got drunk.
Go for it.
Okay. It was on Captain Morgan.
Okay. Rum.
Yes.
Never liked rum. Never liked it.
Dude,
So
Captain.
You like it?
Yeah.
we went to, like I said, I grew up in a very small town.
Was it normal, like just straight Captain Morgan? It wasn't like spice or not spice, but like wasn't any flavored or anything, or
It's probably just the original.
just the original? Yeah,
I guess.
Like yeah.
I really wasn't
Ordinary.
paying attention to the bottle. So, like I said, it was a very small town. So basically, I just went to the end of my street, but a few blocks down, and hanging out with some of the kids there. And I don't know, I was definitely out of high school by this point. It's probably only like 18, 19, something like that. And it was because basically I felt like I was being challenged simply because I was a girl. Mm-hmm. So we get there and we have Dr. Fizz, not even Dr. Pepper, Dr. Fizz.
That's a knockoff.
Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
So we've got that.
Dr. Thunder.
Yeah.
So, or it might have been that. I don't even know. Something like that. So I'm making my rum and Coke, but I don't know how to make it because...
Yeah.
So my proportions were way off.
You know what you do? You do
It was
this,
like
this much
rum,
this much Coke.
Dr. Pepper. So it was...
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it was a lot. And so I made one for me and one for my friend, and some other people made.
So you got your friend fucked too.
Well, so people so this was like a new bottle. People were kind of taking some stuff, and then there was like this much left in the, I don't know, fifth. I don't know. It's a bottle.
Fifth is like the flatter one.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
like
this was not
like
then.
A flask.
This was not a fifth.
It was
this
just a normal bottle.
Yeah, this was bottle.
All right.
Bottle. And there was about yay much.
Mm-hmm. That's when you chug it.
So it was this.
I'm assuming this is where this is going.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, friend, do you think I could do this?
Friend. Hey, friend. Do you think I can drink this?
Exactly. My friend, do you think I can do this? And she was like, yeah, sure. But this boy who happened to live across the street from me was like, you can't do it. You're a girl. Why don't you pass it over to one of the men? And
that was sexist.
Reverse psychology to you the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't think I can't do this because I'm a girl? F you, buddy. The entire thing. One swallow. My throat burned so terribly bad. So bad. The only drink in front of me, because I was like, I gotta drink something else.
Was your Dr. Pepper mix?
Yes, was my Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
so then I chugged that. Then I just remember laying down on the concrete a lot because it was nice and cold.
Did the world start
and
spinning?
Everything else felt very hot. I apologized to my friend for drinking all of his alcohol. He was a little weirded out that I drank it all. So I gave him some money so he could go buy a new one. And I do remember hugging the toilet quite a bit.
Yeah.
So here's a
Talking on the great white telephone.
Here's a funny story that came from that.
That's actually how I met Tom.
So my friend drove me home.
I was drunk when I met him.
That's how my parents met.
My friend took me home because obviously I was in no shape to drive. So she took me home.
No drinking and driving.
Yes, no
Nothing
drinking
else,
and
no
driving.
drinking and driving.
Yes.
Or Pokemon for that matter. We'll throw that in there again for good measure.
Yes.
For gaming
No
purposes.
pokey and driving.
No, I didn't live in the house with my parents. My parents had like a little rental property house, like an converted garage. So I actually lived back there. So she took me back there, but we did have a pool, and I was inviting everybody over for a pool party.
What, when you were drunk, you went to go get in the pool?
Well, no.
Don't drink the
I
pool.
was just inviting everybody from the party.
Okay.
Come on over to my house for a pool party.
Don't drink in pool.
Nobody followed. Nobody followed. Thank goodness. Nobody followed.
Because we used to have a pool.
So, my friend and one of the guys came out, and they actually like tucked me in bed. I had a water bed, which is a terrible idea.
Oh God. No. That's gotta be terrible. When
They
you're
tucked
drunk.
me in bed, and I don't even remember that. I don't remember them bringing me home. I don't remember them tucking me in bed, but apparently they did, and they even sat with me for a while. Now Crystal stayed the night with me, but I do remember waking up and desperately needing to get to the toilet. So first off, jumping up. Terrible mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, Ripley waterbed.
Well, I think that's mistake number 1.
So I had to basically just crawl out, and I was on the floor, and I literally crawled like an army crawl to the bathroom.
When you know you're drunk.
To the bathroom.
hungover.
And puked a lot. There was only one other thing that I can remember from that night, and that was there was like this. I remember trying to get the Lysol off the shelf, but apparently I knocked it over. Well, Crystal comes in. Now, Crystal had to tell me this in the morning because I vaguely remember, but I didn't remember all of it. She came in, and I had knocked the shelf down. I'm in front of the toilet. I've got like the rim up, and I'm like hugging it, and I'm laying on it, and I'm just spraying Lysol. And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "My face is where asses have been. I've got to clean." So I was Lysoling the toilet and then I just slept there the rest of the night.
I think my worst drinking story. I've had 2. One real quick one. Basically, I spent $110 in Jameson shots in St. Louis one time, so my friend's band was playing.
Jesus.
And I remember them not letting me keep the bottle. And I was like, "Well, fuck you. I want the bottle. I paid for this. Pretty much. I paid for more than that." They won't let me keep the bottle. The other one was the Halloween night. I think I've told this story before, but we started in my dorm, drank some stuff, went to haunted house. Actually, no, we went to my dorm, drank some stuff, went to Haley's dorm, drank some stuff, went to haunted house. Then we went to somebody else's dorm. I don't know whose it was. It was just like everybody, like our group had kind of merged at that point, went to somebody else's dorm. And we were playing beer pong, drinking, having fun.
Never played beer pong.
Dude, beer pong is fun. We gotta make you play beer pong. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, I was at one point, like I got to the point of that where like I'm gonna stop because I know if I go much further, it's not gonna end well. But so
This was after the $110 worth of Jameson?
no, that's a different story.
Oh, okay.
This was yeah, that was a whole different $110.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we're hanging out in this dorm, and I'm trying to sober up because I'm like I gotta get back at some point, and this is like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, and I grab one of the ping pong balls and I start tossing against the wall, just tossing and catching it. And Haley goes, "Here, drink this." And I was like, "Oh fuck it, we'll do one more." I chug it, and I grab the ball again to go throw it, and he goes, "Woo!" And I turn to my friend Julian, who lived across the hall from me in the dorm. I turn to him, I go, "Julian, just make sure I get home. Like, that's all I care. Just get me back to my dorm. I don't care what happens after that," because I knew I was fucked. Like, I knew for a fact that was
At
the
this
last
point, I give you free will and reign of me.
Yeah. I was like, I knew.
I am no longer in my
And
body.
I don't remember going back. They said when I was we used to have, I was in Mississippi, so we had all single gender dorms, so they had people at the check-in desk to make sure you weren't sneaking in females, which you just sneak them through the bathroom. It was really easy. There's a bathroom in the basement that the window would open. You sneak them in, pick them up, nobody saw. But I was walking in. Yeah, well, that's happened a few times to a few people. But I was walking into the dorm, and apparently the guy at the desk was like, "Oh, he's fucked." And I'm going to walk up the stairs. They're like apparently dragging me. Like I'm limp. Like they're just dragging me up the stairs. And we were going to Julian told me I turned to him and I was like, "I gotta take a pee. I gotta pee." It's like, "You're not gonna make it." He's like, "Go in the shower." So I went in the shower and I'm leaning against the wall. He's like, all of a sudden I hear a crash of you just like falling. He's like, "I was scared for you there," because he thought I'd hit. Like he was scared I was gonna hit my head or something. He's like, "You were fine. You got up." He dragged me back to my bed and I don't remember any of this happening. I woke up the next morning. This is probably the moment where I was probably most scared. Was I woke up the next morning. We had it initially was the popcorn bowl. As the college semester went on, it became the puke bowl.
Oh, gross.
So I woke up the next morning like this. Instead of being near a toilet, I have a bowl in my face and just all down my face and all on my sheets. And I was like, so on top of having a hangover, I had to do laundry, which was in the basement where there's really loud people and loud music.
Yeah.
So don't drink and do laundry and get hangovers.
I don't know
Just
if I have
don't drink
any,
into
like,
oblivion. All things in moderation, kids.
I don't know if I have any killer story. I remember the first time I got drunk because I learned a valuable lesson that day, and that is do not mix drinks.
Yeah. Or I've learned don't drink anything that you don't know where it came from.
Not even so much that as the fact that, like, whilst I agree with the sentiment.
Yes. I was going to say, because that's dangerous.
You know, I already mentioned our syndicate clan. And so, you know, we would source things from different areas. So we'd have, like, some beer, some cider, some liquor. And I would drink all of it.
Liquor than beer, you're in the clear. Beer than liquor, you'll never be sicker.
Yeah, and that was the problem. So I did the one that you're sicker on. Yeah, and I was in the nightclub was called Euphoria. If anyone from Leinster, which I really doubt it, is watching this, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a converted nightclub from a Jehovah's Witness study hall.
Wow.
So it's
Sounds
like a
classy.
church. It's like a church. And
I just want to say Euphoria. I picture a lot of drugs going on in the place.
That too.
With the name.
But so I'm upstairs and I throw up on the table, like horribly. And then I'm like, shit, I need to move away from this before I get kicked out. So I went downstairs and I left. And then I go and sit on a park bench. And my friends come up. And one of my friends, fucking asshole, he's like, do you want a chip? So he's like waving these chips in my face. And I'm like already super nauseous. So the smell of the grease and all this stuff is just like making me feel super sick. This is how fucked I was. I couldn't even go from this position to this position to throw up.
Yeah,
I just went, I just went all over myself. So it was so horrible. And I had such a hangover. And you know, the worst part to me about drinking is not even the hangover. It's the sleep part. Because you think, okay, I'm so tired. I need to sleep. You shut your eyes and the room spins. And that to me was like the single worst. I hated it.
Try doing it when the world spins when your eyes are open. I was in Haley's. Haley's had a truck and I was in the bed of it because I was fucked and I went outside that way if I got sick.
Driving you around in the bed of
No,
the truck.
we were at her house, but I knew if I got outside I got sick, I could throw up in the grass or something versus like on her stuff. So I laid in the bed of the truck and I just remember going, Haley, I'm probably staying here tonight.
I had a plan. I would just get like multiple glasses of water and watch TV because I couldn't sleep. So after like drinking water for 2 hours, even if it was 3 a.m. and watching TV, I knew that eventually I'd probably be able to sleep. But yeah, the other big time I think was when it was New Year's Eve, and and this is a small story, but we had a 2 liter of something called White Lightning. I don't know if
sounds like grease.
It was really shitty cider, like the worst bargain basement cider you've ever had.
It's like box wine.
And we were at the train station, and we were for some reason thought it would be a wonderful idea. You know the little ticket thing, like ticket booth area where you like, I don't know if they have them over here, but like you have like a glass panel and then you have like a tray. So you would slide your money in the tray, they would slide you the tickets. We were just like, let's fill the tray. So we filled the tray at the train station with this fucking cider. And
I feel like she's judging you right now.
Then,
You are an alcoholic. I've only been drunk,
11
like
to 17,
actually
remember?
drunk,
Then I was
like
fine.
twice in my life. The time I told you guys about, and then my 21st birthday.
My dad
Way
one
more.
time got completely plastered at an Elton John concert. He tried to do a drink per song. That was fun. And so I love you, Dad, to death. But
Don't drink and
so this is one of the moments my mom. I heard it happening, but she told me later on what had actually happened. So like my bedroom was right next to the upstairs bathroom. Like my parents had a master bath, but my dad was, the way our house in California was set up was we had a loft that had a TV up in it, and he apparently passed out in the recliner there. I remember him coming back from the party because I was up there before I went to bed, and the World Series was on or something, because he goes, who's winning the World Series? I was like, what? He's like, who's the World Series? And I was like, I don't know what you just said. So I went to bed.
Yeah.
As you do. So I went to bed. And
Tuesday, Dad.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I went to bed, and all of a sudden you just hear, like him throwing up. And next thing I hear is my mom coming out, as my mom does. And again, this is why I love her. She goes, David, this is why you shouldn't drink so much. Do you want me to get the kids up so they can see what alcohol does to you? And I was like, I'm awake at this point because my bedroom is right next to the bathroom, so I can hear all this going on. And I was like, don't come in here, because I can't handle people getting sick. Like I get sick if I see someone getting sick.
My dad was the same.
And
my dad would come in and tell me how much he loved me when he was hammered.
Yeah, but it was funny.
It was sweet. Yeah, but I'm just like, yeah, that's great.
Well, my
away.
My parents met at the SAE house, which is a fraternity at Milliken, because my dad was completely plastered and my mom took care of him. That's how my parents met.
Sweet.
Real fancy story.
Worked out pretty good.
It did. Yeah. They've been married now probably, I think they're going close to 30.
Nice.
I don't know exactly.
Congrats.
My sister was born in 88.
David.
So 1985? How many years is that? 1985? Yeah, that's the year there. No, it's
32.
There we go. So they're over 30. So 32?
32.
Yeah, they've been married since 85. It's been.
They got married 3 years after I was born.
I didn't know it was 3 years.
Not to the day. I'm just saying I was born in
86. They were married.
You were born like
June
22nd,
1985.
You 91?
I think. Yes, June 22nd, 1985.
When were you born?
91.
Yeah.
March 91.
81. I'm 10 years older than you.
Yeah. My sister's 88.
88.
And my brother, you ready for this one? My brother's 99.
Whoa, that's the year I graduated high school.
You guys got married the year I graduated high school?
Me too. I graduated in 99.
I found that out the other day because somebody posted something somewhere, and I was like, I graduated high school in 09.
Aww,
yeah.
That's so
the age differences here.
So let's stop talking about drinking and start talking about something better.
Oh yeah, we forgot we had.
So we were going to show you guys this. This is a little card that we got sent by. I don't see if I can hold it closer to the camera here.
The Able Gamers Foundation.
The Able Gamers, and inside it looks pretty too. I'll have Jess read it because I am completely.
Apparently, I'm the only one that can read
it. Yeah, I can't read his handwriting.
Yeah, no one else can read it. But basically, from all of mostly Keegan's work when it comes to.
And to Grotto.
Yeah,
and Cody.
I mean, between us two,
yes.
you, yeah, and then of course Tigrato and Cody from the Dream Saga, and
Rithea,
hopefully Rithea and some other folks. We're basically putting together a team.
We have a team
where we try and raise money for able gamers, so everyone can game. And we had our 24-hour stream, you will remember, and basically they sent us like a thank you card. So
yes.
And it reads as such.
Level 2 Gamers, thank you for the support you give to Able Gamers. It is because of people like you and your team that we are able to do the great work. You make it possible for our mission to thrive. Thank you, Mike Bartlett, founder AG.
Cool. AG's Able Gamers, in case you're wondering.
I don't think anyone was wondering.
But yeah, I was kind of I got that sent to me yesterday, and I was kind of surprised, to be completely honest, because like you get emails from them saying, "Hey, thank you for donations." Obviously, automated thing, but the fact that A, that's handwritten. And B, they took the time to do it is quite incredible.
Very sweet of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how. I don't think they're a very big organization when it comes to people.
I wouldn't say
they have
so.
a lot of full-time people now. They have lots of volunteers and all that kind of stuff. But it was really cool. I mean, it's one of the things I made a point this year, as you know, to kind of give back. And Able Gamers was the one. Makes the most sense with what we are. I like how we go from drinking stories to real serious.
I'm just saying, you know what was going through my head? The bully grew a heart.
Yeah.
Aww.
I was the Grinch.
Yeah.
Grew 2 sizes too big. But no, it's one of those things where it's just like one of the things I personally wanted to do was to give back. Because I feel like a lot of times in the position we're in, we get a lot of things. We don't necessarily give back a lot of things. Yes, we make content, but we also have gotten free games. We've gotten fucking PSVR. We've gotten, I mean, a lot of stuff. We get donations from people, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So it's been cool this year to kind of give back and do this, and this is still going on. I plan
end of the year, right?
Yeah, I plan to do at least one more 24-hour live stream, assuming I can get it figured out, and I want to do other ones in there.
I'm gonna do one. Look at these two. They don't believe I can do it. I'm gonna do it.
When are you doing it?
He can't stay awake.
I don't have a date yet. I gotta wait for like a good game release.
Don't do one game.
No, but I want like a good one to start with.
What did I do? I played Horizon a little bit. That was fun.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
What else did I play?
But I'm worried if I play like Persona.
Does it have to be
or
just
Mass
video
Effect.
games?
Well, what else am I gonna do?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Can you like demonstrate like how to knit a sweater or something like that?
I don't know how to knit a sweater, but sure.
Just do it like
you
a
can do that
telethon.
if you want to come in and knit a sweater.
You just do it like a 24-hour telethon.
Sure.
You could just put a camera up, play some board games.
No one wants to watch me watching a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Not watch a movie. You have to do something that's entertaining.
I do anything entertaining. I mean, this is the thing that I do that's entertaining. So, I mean, I could rap, I suppose. Couldn't do that.
Could
for
you rap 24
hours.
hours?
No, definitely not. But it might be fun. I assume at some point I'll hit delirium and start doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but no, we plan to do more charity streams in the future. We haven't been streaming the last few weeks. Hopefully to Sunday, when the Sunday after this
So how
goes
much
out.
did you raise when you did your stream?
I raised over 1,000. I think the final count was like 1,022 with all matches and all that kind of
Your
stuff.
goal, 1,023.
I was kind of blown away. I expected 100. So, but it's one of those things where 600 of that was from where we work because they donate money for time essentially. So I did 24 hours times $25 an hour. That's $600, and then everything else was donations.
I feel like I would need a sign or something that says like, "I'm peeing, I'll be right back." So
Well, that's what
whenever
I
go pee, I can just go boop.
That's what
I'll be right back.
that's the advantage of like James doing it by himself. It sucked. Like when I had people over, it's like, okay, I don't have to be here for 24
Someone else
hours. It's
can,
more
like-
social. But my kind of requirement was I had to be there. I couldn't like fall asleep.
Right.
But I didn't have to be playing the whole time. And it was,
Right.
I mean, Sarah came over and played Resident Evil. You guys came over. I don't think you guys ended up playing anything, did you?
No, we just
Just
hung out.
watched.
Just hung out.
Yeah. Cody,
Provided
Jim Todd
hilarious
came over.
commentary,
Yeah.
as we are wont to do.
You guys took lots of selfies. I remember that.
Yeah. I like to
remember
take
seeing the
selfies.
Remember seeing the selfies.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun. I mean, like I said, I would do it again. I recommend you get the day or two off after.
She's taking a selfie right now. Well, not a selfie.
She's taking a
but
picture.
A photo.
Yeah.
What's that other word for things with cameras? Photo. Yeah.
I recommend having the day off afterwards, or potentially 2 days off afterwards, because you will be exhausted. Because I didn't sleep the night afterwards, because it's weird because you're so excited at the beginning, because you're like, hey, and then we hit our goal relatively quickly. I was like, sweet, I'll hear some gravy. And then we had the evening rush, and then the morning, which is when I expected to die, which we had. I wish I could remember her name from Ireland, but we had somebody with.
Look, Elizabeth.
Oh, hello.
What's
Sorry.
that? What is that?
I found your phone.
I binged.
Pinged your phone?
I found your phone.
I think it was Elizabeth. That rings a bell to me.
Yeah, but she hung out with us, which was kind of cool. And then obviously having like Brandon come over in the morning, David playing, Cody come over the next morning. But it was like when Cody was over, I was so exhausted when Cody came over playing Horizon. But at the very end of the stream, which sucks because it never made it live because it's still processing and never will finish. I attacked a bunch of things in Horizon, and I was like, "Let's do this!"
I was
I
watching.
got super
I remember
energetic,
that,
and then I
yeah.
couldn't sleep after that
Yeah.
because I was so wired. But
I was watching.
it was a lot of
You
fun.
went into the little cave area, and there was like 8 raptor things that were trying to kill
And I was
you.
like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do this.
Uh-huh.
This is the way to end it." So it was a lot of fun. It's an experience that I don't regret. I definitely wouldn't do it with one game like Jordan did because that was a dumb idea.
It was dumb for him because he loves that game. But
Yeah, he hated that game by the time it was done though.
Yes.
Even he will admit that was dumb.
Yeah, I would have to play multiple games.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to switch like into VR and stuff like that because, like you said, I mean, if there's other people in the room, it's fun.
The only downside to
By yourself,
VR,
it
as you know,
sucks.
with the Elgato, you have to read.
Yeah, I would probably stick to flat games, but I probably would just go through like all the indie games. Like, 'cause I recently
that's what I
discovered I have
wanted
like
to do.
200 indie games.
That's what I
which
wanted.
I didn't
to
even
do.
know I had that many.
Yeah.
I'll do it if I can do my jigsaw puzzle and read my book.
You can do
What, just
story
hang
time.
out?
Yeah,
you
like
can hang out with me and
just
just do that.
Elgato
Also,
and
there's
me
a
doing my
jigsaw
jigsaw
game on
puzzle.
the PS4. We could do that.
and I'll just do that.
I can't imagine
And then
it'd be
I'll
very
read. I
exhilarating
don't like
for
to
people.
read out loud though, so
Well, you can't read quietly because they won't be able to see the book.
I'll just hold it like this.
You do story time like the teacher.
I could do that.
So, what's our runtime right now?
We're at 51 minutes, but we
Yikes.
were recording beforehand, so I don't know. Probably like 45. Because fun fact, we started recording and we started telling stories, and then we stopped, and I was like, I need to tell a story on stream about me being a man whore, so that's when we started recording.
That is exactly
That's
what happened.
exactly what happened before
Yeah.
we started. Because
Yeah.
We might
I
even
was-
keep that into the intro.
I was telling, I probably won't.
No.
I was telling Jess about, because I mentioned names there, and I don't want names
Oh yeah,
to be out.
you
So
can bleep them.
yeah, no, too much work. But I was telling Jess about prom and how I went with one person and didn't end with that person.
We don't have prom.
So I went to junior prom with my friend. I don't want to tell. Actually, I don't want to tell this.
It's gonna turn into like a drinky macking on chick story again.
No, I don't want to tell
let's
the
get
story.
into the
'Cause
bonus level.
I don't want to tell the story because it's
You're an asshole.
no.
You're drunk.
It's just
You
not
made purple?
It's just not a good one.
Okay.
It's one that, trust me, it
Okay.
shouldn't be shared publicly.
All right. Well,
So
that's not that.
there's a few times where I'm like, I can't talk about that, and that's when I'm like, I can't.
But
talk
your
about
brain works too fast for you to realize
Yeah.
that before you start
Yeah.
talking about it.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I was like,
I'm aware.
and I was like,
All right. So let's do the bonus level. And the question today, I believe, if I remember correctly, is because Jess is on vacation right now.
I am.
So we were
need a
going to say,
vacation,
if you
vacation.
could vacation, let's say, what do you say, 2 weeks, 1 week?
It doesn't matter if you
Doesn't
go on
matter.
vacation.
It
Just go on
matters to
vacation.
me.
Why does
Just
length
go on
matter?
vacation.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
If you're 7 days to die, you're dead in 7 days. So.
In
It's a jerky.
any video game in the history of mankind, where would you go to? And I'm going to start with Keegan because I know that
Okay,
you
question.
can think of
Jerky.
things very quickly.
I need some clarification.
Sure.
Oh.
Are we actually participating in said game, or we're just experiencing the world?
Just in the world. Like the game is going on over there somewhere. You're just in that world.
Okay.
Don't say Mario.
No, part of me was There's two things. One, I've been playing through Uncharted 1, and that game is beautiful. But the problem is you're in the middle of the jungle, and I was like, I don't like the jungle. That's literally what went through my head. The other one is Just Cause because fucking it's beautiful. It's an island
Do you
paradise.
really want to be on an island where shit is just blowing
That's
up
what
for
I.
no
That was my
reason?
thought. So I was like, oh, it's an island paradise, but things are blowing up.
Yeah. It is a pretty like area though.
Yeah.
When you're not dying.
Yeah. I really don't know where I'd want to be. I mean, those were my first like initial ones. Like, oh, there's an island that would make sense to go to.
So you're thinking of traditional vacation locations.
Yeah, I would. It would have to be traditional. I mean, let's be honest. The best one would be like Mario Kart. Because how fun would it be to be on vacation and just drive Mario Karts?
Well, you're not in the race though. You're not part of the
I know,
game.
but if
you
you're
would be in the
spectator.
crowd.
But if you're in
You'd
the
be
world,
watching them.
why wouldn't I be in the race? Because I'm part of the world. Maybe I could pay $100 to be in the race.
Because
Sure.
they have.
Go right ahead.
Why not? Yeah.
All right.
You
can be in the race.
What's the entry requirements to get into a Mario Kart race, Tom?
Be a Nintendo character.
I'm a me. There is a me of me that is named
me.
Keegan.
That is true.
So suck it.
That's true.
So I win.
But you would have to look like you're me in the game.
I don't care. He looks like me.
I doubt that.
Have you seen my me?
I've seen all me's,
Have you seen
and none
my-
of them look like
Have you
the
seen
person.
my Wii?
What? I hope not.
No, I would probably do Mario Kart because it'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, so you would vacation in Mario Kart. But
yeah,
you're a
'cause-
NASCAR fan, so you would probably just be happy in the audience, just watching.
No, I'd rather race because
Go, Mario.
shooting people. NASCAR story. Speaking of NASCAR, real quick,
please.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired. Announced his retirement today after 18 years. This is his last year.
I'm trying to count
That's
the
so
amount
sad
of fucks that I
/
give.
good for him.
Do you know who Dale Earnhardt Sr. is, right? The Black 3. He died in 2001 in an accident in Daytona.
Racy guy.
Do you know?
Could you see the disinterest on my face?
He like when it comes to he's like the Michael Jordan of NASCAR essentially. Like him and Richard Petty are the two that are known. It's like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson.
I
of
am
NASCAR.
familiar with the Earnhardts.
So
just
his
so you
it's
know.
his son, who
Okay.
everybody loves, the most popular driver ever since Earnhardt Sr. died because everybody felt
retired.
bad for him
How old is he?
in his 40s. So
Why did he retire?
because he had a concussion last year and he basically missed half the
enough.
season because he had a really nasty concussion and
So he's
he
just like,
didn't
fuck
even
it, take the money and run at this
he didn't even
point.
think he'd be able to race. Like he didn't even think he'd be able to function. Like there's videos of him walking down a grocery store with sunglasses on because light sensitivity, of just not knowing who he was.
Wow,
So,
that's fucked up.
but anyways, yeah, Mario Kart. What about you?
We
eating
went
my
from
jerky
super
now.
happy to super depressing. I'm going to defer to you, actually.
Oh no, I don't know. I was
Yeah.
hoping you would go first.
You're still thinking? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put you on the spot because you put me on the spot. I ain't jerky.
Ooh,
by the way.
ooh. I don't know. Paperboy?
Paperboy?
It's just my go-to for everything.
You just want to be looking out the window and see weird moving obstacles and like occasionally a
Mario.
paper come
No.
flying at your door.
No, let's not do Paperboy.
You haven't played that many games in
I
the
know
history
that's
of
why.
life.
That's why I don't know.
Think about games that you
Sonic the
know.
Hedgehog.
You don't have to necessarily have played them. Sonic would be cool because you get to play with all the little animals and everything. Because you know when they open those containers, there's little fluffy bunnies that jump out.
I know. You know why they're fluffy bunnies, right?
Because bunnies are fluffy.
Don't they turn the fluffy bunnies into machines? Isn't that
Into
the
the
whole
enemies,
thing?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure you knew why they're fluffy bunnies. They're not just fluffy
I'm a
bunnies.
Sonic guy.
Are you? Are you excited for the new Sonic game then?
No.
Why not?
I've not been excited for a new Sonic game.
Have you
ever.
not seen it?
No.
That's why you need to look seriously. You need to look at it and you will be excited.
All right, fair enough.
It looks like old school Sonic.
I just think I only like Sonic for the nostalgia factor of the fact that I played those games growing up. Outside of that, they've never done anything to draw me back into the series. So
even
now,
you're a
even if
cold-hearted man.
that's true, but also even if they made it like HD version of the traditional Sonic.
They tried to do that and it didn't go well.
I
Sonic
remember that.
Generations.
Yeah, I still don't think I'd give a shit, honestly. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with Sonic. But, which is a shame. I actually had a Sonic the Comic #1, by the way. when
Sonic
that
the
got
Comic?
released. Yes.
Like, we had the same reaction to that.
It's a thing. I had the first issue, but it was the English one, so it wasn't worth as much as the American one. And I also destroyed
Because
it.
America's better.
Yeah, it's because America's #1.
That's because you make comics.
America.
But
So what were
I would do
procrastinating?
I would do Final Fantasy, and I say this a lot because
Which one? Because aren't they all in different universes?
Yes, technically. Let's see. So that's a good question. I would say let's do Final Fantasy X. Not just because it's my favorite game, but because of the sport that's in Final Fantasy X. So Final Fantasy is set in multiple locations. So you have some areas that are like really green and grassy and nice. You have some like beach areas, some snow-capped mountains and things like that.
Like Ark.
So, it's similar in nature to a real world. There are multiple places, so you could vacation within the vacation. Also, even though there are like scary bad guys around and everything, you could go to any village and buy like super dope weapons and feel like kind of badass going around. And you don't have to go too far away from the village. You could just stick around the area with like the early level things and just like feel like a badass killing those.
Do you think he would survive?
I don't know, but he's given me some ideas. Well, first off, I was going to say maybe like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, just so I could like
Beat people up.
just so I could get really good at my street game.
And be angry.
Get really good at my street game. But no, you totally gave me an idea. I think I would just go to Wii Resort.
Wii Resort?
Go to the Wii Resort.
I mean, that'd be fun.
So that I can play all the
what's in that?
games.
Archery.
I've
I
never
can
played
do
that one.
archery.
Was that the
second
I think that's the one where you've got like the thing and you can knock.
Yeah, it's the
knock
one where they
people
first
down.
started using the Motion Plus.
Oh,
So
was
you
that
could do,
was that
like,
the one that had the
archery
thing that
stuff.
looked like the Q-tips?
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
could like beat people up. Do you remember when me, you, and Eric and Phil would play that?
I want to get Tom. I want
Just knock
Tom to
everybody
play.
off in like one hit.
I want Tom to play Connect at some point. I have Connect.
I
For
had a
Xbox.
Connect. It got stolen from
I
us.
have Connect.
Yeah, our house got broken.
I have Connect, and I have an Xbox.
Do you have
and
the new Connect?
I have Adventures.
For the Xbox
No.
One?
I have Connect Adventures though for the original Xbox.
Is that? I played that.
Yeah.
Was that when you're in a raft and
Yeah,
stuff?
and you jump around.
Yeah.
I just want to see you
We
jump
used-
around on camera.
We used to play Dance Central.
You could
I
do
would play
star
Dance
jumps.
Central.
Dude, my sister I bought Dance Central. My sister used to own me Dance Central. I
See, that
definitely.
would be good too. Dance Central. Go on vacation with Dance Central.
should
just
da-
like
you should-
Soldier Boy around
okay.
the place.
We should have them do a 24-hour live stream of just dancing games.
I would die
I know it'd be awesome.
if I died. You can't do this show by yourself, sir. You need me. You don't want me to die. But the Blitz Bowl. You remember Blitz Bowl?
Yes.
So Blitz Bowl is a game in Final Fantasy X where it's essentially kind of like hockey, but you're in a giant circle of water.
I'm trying not to make noise.
It's fine.
Some jerky.
Keegan's eating jerky.
It's all falling
So there's a
apart, too.
big sphere of water, and you're playing like a sporting style game. It's kind of like underwater Quidditch, right? And
I'm good to Harry Potter.
I was gonna say, do
But-
they have a Harry Potter world?
They do. They have
there's
they have a
game,
Quidditch Harry
sure.
Potter
But
game,
that's
and then they
cheating
have
because that's a movie. You can't. It has to
a
be a video
franchise.
game. Yeah, but because they have that as a card game too, so there's like stuff to do as well, which is my thought. And plus, like everyone looks kind of cool too. Like you could buy some pretty badass armor and stuff.
no.
I also wouldn't mind going to iHeart
Dokamadaki.
so I could help the little mushroom people find their family.
It's seriously like this is going to be the most niche thing you're going to hear on our entire show ever. She used to play this DS game called I Heart Dokamadake, which is a Japanese game about a little mushroom family that you have to save.
They get
It's a puzzle
separated
game.
in the woods, and you got to roll around and
She
fight
said she was
each other.
she said she was a mom, so like as a child, so that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. She has to help the mushroom.
You're a
people.
mom as a child. Weird.
And
So-
as an adult, I am not one.
We actually tracked that
Dogs.
down.
I do have doggies.
We actually tracked that down, even though she doesn't play it, just so if she ever
Because
decided she
we
wanted to play it
sold
again,
my
we would have it.
PS. Not my PS. What's
PS?
DS?
The other letter.
The other one.
But I've never seen another variation of that game, which is weird because it's actually pretty good. Other than that, I can't think of what else would be interesting, to be honest. I mean, obviously, like
Elder Scrolls that would be. But
Elder
I said that for
Scrolls
something
would-
else.
Lego.
No, because that's like saying I want to live in medieval times,
Lego
which no
World.
one does.
But you have magic.
But it's just a vacation.
Fallout's
Yeah.
terrifying.
It's just a vacation.
Yeah, you got
That's true.
I could fucking Tony Hawk Underground. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad actually.
I mean,
Tony Hawk,
any of the Tony Hawk
would be
games.
pretty good.
Other than Tony Hawk 5, because
I was thinking like Doom, just to go to hell for a little bit and like, have shotguns. but then I would die
Yeah.
within the vacation time period.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make it back.
Oh, I know. I got a perfect one. I know exactly.
Go ahead.
Dead or Alive. Extreme Beach Volleyball. Was that Dead or Alive 2, I think?
You just want to see jiggly boobs.
Dude, their boob physics were awesome.
Boob physics are insane.
They're
in this
crazy
game.
in that.
They really are.
Have you played that game?
No.
Have you? Oh, we need to show it to you. It's actually
they put like 100% of their budget behind
in
boob
the boob.
physics.
Yes,
It's
no
just
joke.
like the bounciness.
Yes, it's
There's a
real
VR
fun.
version of that.
Ooh,
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
I haven't either.
Yeah, I can't imagine the boob physics would be as on point.
No. But yeah, it's like it's what it's known for. Because I mean, it was funny because like I like sports games, so like volleyball, ooh, hot women in volleyball, ooh, let's play this.
You're such a
I rented that
You know
from.
they're not real.
That doesn't matter.
Boob physics.
So here,
does.
I have a pot. Here's another question because there was I can't remember what I was watching.
Are we doing double bonus levels?
Yes.
Maybe, but there was another one. I was watching some podcast somewhere. Actually, it might have been Game Grumps, and Dan asked Aaron because he's like, "Oh, this lady's hot," like in the game, and it's some like Zora from the Zora's Domain from Zelda.
Oh, okay.
So Dan was like to Aaron, like, "Have you ever found a like anthropomorphic like character attractive in a video game?"
Isn't anthropomorphic? Doesn't that mean like
Non-human.
Yeah.
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 Have you ever found an because there was a Zora they were talking about,
No.
and I've never. Yeah, I don't
That's
think.
the answer to
I
the
don't think I've
question.
ever had like
I mean,
his answer.
Jessica Rabbit's still technically human, despite the name.
Mm-hmm.
So no.
Because his answer was the girl from Chippendales, Rescue Rangers.
And it isn't like an attractive thing, but in the original Mass Effect games, there was alien species, and some of them were nice. I like talking to them, like the Asari. They were a nice race. They were like blue octopus things with weird tentacles on their head, but
That movie
they were
Species.
pleasant. Huh?
That movie Species?
The movie Species?
Wasn't that a thing?
What? Oh well, yeah, they would screw
a
you and
pretty
then
lady,
tear
but-
you apart.
But a pretty lady, but she wasn't human.
Yeah, but she actually looked like a human until she tore you apart. But these are like they look like aliens. So.
The only cartoon, it's not even a video game, cartoon character that I thought, for a cartoon character, not too shabby. Do you remember Daria?
Mm-hmm.
Trent.
Fair.
Not my type,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. He was a decent looking cartoon character.
Okay. You?
That's it.
well, if we're gonna expand it to cartoons, do you remember Drawn Together?
Mm.
Fucking Drawn Together. They had a few of them. They had
But they-
Foxy Cleopatra. They had what's
That
her
was
name?
an adult themed show, though.
Still a cartoon.
It's true.
Still a
but
cartoon.
they're
Still counts.
drawn to be
Sexy.
adulty.
Yeah. It's not hentai.
Mm.
Might as well be. Mother Up was another good one. That series only lasted 1 year. It might have been Hulu exclusive. It's either Hulu or Netflix exclusive. I'm not
Never
quite
heard.
sure. But it was Eva Longoria was the lead, was the mother in it, and basically it's about this rich mom taking care of her kids, and her being real dumb and
This cartoon?
yeah. And it's really interesting because it very much, I don't want to say it parallels my life, but it's being that the
You are a rich mother that takes care of her kids.
but no, being
Sometimes.
like I know people who are like the person in the cartoon, so I could relate to it, versus like somebody who didn't live the same lifestyle I did couldn't, and it was
Rich people?
yeah, pretty much. But it was interesting because again, there's certain things that like made total sense to me when like the whole having a nanny living with them like made sense to me. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
You guys
that-
had a nanny?
Yeah, her name her name was San. No, that was the exchange student.
San?
What was her name?
That was the Dutch
Tamara.
exchange.
Yeah, Tamara.
Tamara.
Tamara lived with us when we lived in California.
I have a real problem saying the name Tamara. I always want to say Tamara because it sounds better to me.
From TN
I
tomorrow.
don't like saying no.
Sister,
it's
sister?
Tamara. Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow. That's when you're in the South. But no, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We had to live a nanny. My mom at one point, like both my parents make good money. My dad is an executive in the music industry, in a
Right.
music company. My mom was on pace to be an executive at Red Cross. So she,
Interesting.
they were
Didn't know
both
that.
very successful, and she gave up her career when my dad wanted to move to go work for Sabian Cymbals in the middle of fucking nowhere, Canada. We went from Los Angeles, California, to a town of 5,000 New Brunswick, Canada, which is balls cold.
Imagine so.
I've been to negative 40 degree weather.
Yikes.
That's cold.
We debated Canada for a hot second.
Yeah, no. Well, which part? That makes a
British
difference.
Columbia.
Okay, that's not bad. I like the Atlantic provinces just because they're gorgeous.
British Columbia just looks so pretty.
So does the Atlantic provinces. Don't live in the middle of Canada. Nobody cares about the prairies. Fucking Regina. Nobody lives there.
Regina?
Regina, Saskatchewan. The capital of Saskatchewan is Regina.
You just said lots of words I can't understand.
Saskatchewan is a province, which is similar to a state. Regina is a city.
Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
And then, so, there's also Nunavut is a territory in Canada.
How many different types of thing are there in Canada?
So there's 10 provinces, 3 territories. 10 provinces? I think 10 provinces, 3 territories. The territories are Northwest Territories, because they fucking didn't know a name for it.
That is a super boring name.
Was it Yellowknife? Yukon. No, Yukon was the territory. Yellowknife was the capital.
Yukon I've heard of.
Yukon territory. And then they had...
didn't they have like gold in Yukon or something?
Yeah. And then they had... Well, the Yukon is like all up until last.
There's like isn't there Yukon Gold is like the name of like
a TV show.
A potato.
I was going to say a scratch card, so I mean it's
but no,
lots of things.
So
apparently.
here, funny or weird names that Canadians have. Nunavut is the name of a territory. Or Nunavut, depending on how you say it. Yeah, it's an indigenous name. Nobody lives, by the way, in the territories because it's fucking like -50 all the time. But the name of the capital city is Iqaluit or Iqaluit, depending on, again, how you...
None of it Equalat?
Nunavut, Iqaluit.
Nunavut, Equalat?
Mm-hmm. Nunavut.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I lived in a town called Woodstock.
Yeah?
Yeah, no joke.
Nice.
5,000 people on the border of, kind of near the border of Maine and New Brunswick.
No one could pronounce my town's name either. Well, you can if I
Lemster?
tell you. Well, it's Lemster, but
Lemster?
How would you say Lemster is spelled?
Lempe... Oh, wait.
P-E?
Lempe-P-S-T-R.
Lemster.
Yeah, it's Leominster.
Leominster.
Yeah.
Leo Minister?
Yeah.
Is Leo your
It was
minister?
a big church town. Apparently, and I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently the Priory Church, which is one of the bigger churches in that town, has underground tunnels that lead to other churches in the country. And what they would do is whenever like England was supposed to be under attack or whatever, the other churches were all supposed to like go into the tunnels and then meet at the Priory because it was like out of the way and no one gave a shit about us.
Why didn't you go investigate? That seems like the first thing I would do. If
I mean, hey, church, do you mind if I dig up your floor and see if you have secret tunnels? No,
yeah.
It's not gonna work.
They'd be cool with that. Like, I'm with National Geographic or Travel Channel.
My name is Josh Gates.
Yeah,
I'm here to
dig your shit up.
Yeah. Anyway, so what would you at home? What would you vacation if you could pick a video game to vacation in? And also, do you have a crush on any anthropomorphic creatures? Any non-human entities? Yeah.
I was never into tentacle people. I never understood the Japanese obsession with tentacle people.
It's a weird sea fetish thing they have. Like they eat seaweed, and I don't know what that is either.
Yeah,
that seems to me like something you would like.
Hey.
Seaweed or tentacle
people.
Because you really like octopuses and squid.
I do like tentacles. I don't necessarily like
Tentacle
tentacles near vaginas. there's a big gap there in thought process. But yeah.
Talking about.
All right.
Anyway, that sounds like a really good way to end the podcast. So,
what do you think about tentacles?
Thanks a lot for watching. I'd like to thank our guest, my wife, Jessica, and Keegan for his ever entertaining banter.
I could just talk.
I know.
Even if you weren't here, I would probably could just talk.
I expect one day to come home from vacation and find you down here doing just that.
Dude, we're gonna do. We'll talk about it when the camera goes off. But I have an idea for something.
Okay.
This has been a very special episode. Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
23.
Oh, yeah, 23.
This is your weekly podcast. We are the Level 2 Gamers. You can catch us at level2gamers.com. You can catch us on Twitter at Level2GamersSTL. That's 2 S's. You can catch us on Instagram at Level2GamersSTL. 2 S's.
Also, tomorrow, Bargain Basement is going live. That is tomorrow. If you tune in tomorrow, you'll get to see Bargain Basement, which is where we discuss the news, new releases, and sales for the week. And the day after that is our VR day, so you get to tune into our weekly VR chat show.
And
where
then Mondays,
we chat about the news.
We're playing the Jaws. Jaws.
That's doing really well. I'm happy about that because I know you don't like it, so I'm really happy.
I don't like it. I just
well.
don't trust that you'll get through
Lots
it.
of comments, decent amount of views. I'm happy about it. So we got to play that today too.
Yeah, Jaws.
Yay.
I'm gonna yell at you even more.
Half the game is just like seeing if I can complete the game.
David did vouch for you that the controls are shit. So
they're terrible.
Yeah,
they're terrible. Anyway.
I got through Tony Hawk though.
It's like the shark.
Yeah. Like the movie? Like there's.
It's really quite fun because you get to beat the
He
shark.
killed the killer. He killed the killer whale last time. They were trying to kill him.
It was trying to kill me.
And then you busted out of SeaWorld. Essentially, is what happened.
Yeah,
That's essentially what
busted out
happened.
of SeaWorld, like by cannoning through the glass.
Yeah.
And into the
Then you
sea.
got-
so
then you
now
got
I'm in the
trapped
big
by
wide sea and I get to eat
Scientists
more
and-
things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're in the. Yeah. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
now. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's Love 2 Podcast. Again, you can catch us every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time on YouTube. Or, fun fact, they go live early on the podcast sites, whatever the hell they're called,
Sure.
formats, locations, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or any of your other favorite ones. If you guys have any of them that you would like us to put on there, let us know. I'm Keegan.
done. I can't put them on anymore. They're on everything. Like if you know where to put them, tell me. But I
Cool.
don't know. Just listen to iTunes or something.
Yes,
Be
or
normal.
Google Play if you have Android.
Or Google Play.
Um,
Sure.
But
Why not?
so I listen to us on Google Play.
Do you?
Yeah, because I have Google Music. Because I have YouTube Red. But anyways, this has been the episode 23 of the official Love 2 Podcast, and thank you guys for watching. And I keep lipping my mic because it has a lip on it now.
The pop filter was really a barrier to you being able to eat the microphone.
I don't like it
It's like an ice cream cone.
because
at this
before
point.
it's like, oh, I'm gonna hit my face on this thing. Now it's just like I can't see it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.
And as always,
Welcome
to the second level.
Bye. I seriously lipped it 4 or 5 times.
It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level.